Hi, my name is Isabel Valines, and this is my multimedia project. I chose the skill that, or I chose the myth that the ability to learn complex skills often decreases as age increases. A lot of people like to say that you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but after my research, I found that this myth is false, or this myth is true. It is a myth. I believe that many people assume that the cognitive skills decline with age due to the fact that technology is a very difficult tool for our elders to use, which I no doubt am disagreeing with. But there are research that shows that mental decline occurs with age. However, the ability to learn does not decline, and I think that's where a lot of people get confused. I liked the little tidbit here of the grandma confused between what cookies are on the internet, which, I mean, who's not confused by that? Same. Our brains need constant challenges to stay active, and after retirement, they often stop using their brain because they're not working, and they often focus on relaxing and hanging out with their friends and, doing their bingo group thing. But it's shown that we need to challenge our brains to retain cognitive skills and problem-solving skills to better understand daily activities. From outside sources, it's a common theme that older individuals are often embarrassed to admit when they are confused. They often don't speak up, and then that becomes their normal, and then they're just used to being confused all the time because they don't want to seem like a burden. The best thing we can do for our elders is to be patient as they are learning these new skills because there's many benefits into staying cognitively keen. Um, Research has shown that individuals who value improving their brain function have better increased health, better money managing skills, and are not a risk for phishing scams and are safer drivers. I have a graph here from one of my sources that shows that the individuals, split up by age group. So individuals took a pre-test and a post-test. And after the pre-test, they were able to practice and talk with one another and try different techniques on how to better their skills. And afterwards, it showed that every age group was able to improve their test scores afterwards. So this shows that you are able to um, learn things. Although this is more of a physical thing, but it has to do with the mind to body connection, which still is part of your cognitive capabilities. So this test included walking on a treadmill to avoid obstacles and throwing balls at targets for accuracy. One thing I thought that would be important to note is that the individuals who were tested in that previous study had no mental disabilities or disorders such as Alzheimer's or dementia or any other muscle degenerate disease, because that could skew some of the research I had or research they had. So it's important to know all of those individuals were healthy, and then if you had any disability or disease, that it would be harder to maintain your cognitive skills with age. Uh, Throughout this project, I've learned lots of useful information that can be applied to other classes, such as the ability to use non-academic resources and relate them back to real proven data. If the general population is making memes about something, there's often sources diving deeper into the subject with credible information, either proving or disproving the thought. Like the tidbit I had about everyone saying that the elderly have a difficult time using technology, which is true, but it's often because that they don't practice or have people teaching them with patience. I said, for example, in the mental decline. Yeah, people online often neglect to dig deeper into the ideas that they find online. And if you did, you can find that to stay mentally keen, we just need to challenge ourselves daily. It's important when searching online to not believe everything you see, even if it feels like a credible source. Many people believe that if an author had a doctorate or a PhD, to believe them wholeheartedly, but it's best to research what their credentials are to know if they have the proper background in this field that they published the article in. For example, one of my resources had a PhD in, I think it was accounting, but she had published a health article. So if I hadn't dug deeper into that, I would have believed her. But then now I know to take some of what she says a little bit lighter because she doesn't have a great background in that field. I'm very glad I chose this topic as I feel it will help me and those around me to stay mentally keen even into the old age by staying physically active to ensure my cognitive skills that I possess now will follow me into the older ages. I can tell my grandparents and my parents the importance of reading, doing puzzles, getting good exercise, and overall good health habits and how they will impact them for years to come and not even just today. It can impact them for as they continue to age. This project was very fun and it was not too much of a challenge to put together at all. It allowed me to use my research skills for assessing credible resources and deciding what information was useful in my articles and developing my technological skills by putting together this slideshow. These are often skills that I don't get to use in my other classes, so I was really excited to do this. And then I just have some of my works cited that I had had in my other Google Docs as well. So thank you.